text message, so I would encourage you to sign up for that. Do you have any questions for me? Yes, ma'am.
Because I actually tried and thought it succeeded, but I haven't. How do you sign up for your blog?
Mine is just through the website. It's a Yahoo group.
Through KillingHornets.org.
KillingHornets.org. There's a link on there, and it's just a or a Google group. I can't remember. Kendra's Yahoo group. Kendra set it up for me. And if you have any problems signing up for that, please contact Kendra Wheeler, my secretary, and she'll walk you through it. Because honestly, I just write the emails and send them to her, and she posts them. Yes, ma'am.
Can we access the information if we don't text?
You mean for the Remind 101? Those are just going to be little reminders. Anything really important that you need to know will always be on the website too. We'll send it out in the Hornet Herald. But that's just a quick way. Let's say we had school closures for ice or something, right? We could send out a Remind 101 and you would get an instant text instead of having to listen to the news or go to the website.
So if we don't text, then we go to the website.
Yes, yeah. We'll always do multiple ways to inform you. That's just another method.
Do we have any more questions? Okay, Ms. Ramberg is visiting elementary schools. She's going to spend the next, month going around
Yes.
all the elementary schools. As many of y'all got to see her when she was at your elementary school. So she's not here to give an update, but I'm sure Ms. Lowe can answer any questions if you have any specific magnet questions as well.
Absolutely.
For her. And if we don't, we're going to go straight into our exciting Meet the Counselors, who are the lovely ladies in red. We've got Ms. McNutt, who is our 6th grade counselor, and Ms. Malloy, who's our 8th grade counselor. So if y'all want to go ahead and.
Well, we're super excited to be here, obviously, because we're Wonder Women. But I will tell you, Ms. McNutt is, some of you guys know that she has been a teacher on the magnet side for several years and was gracious enough to join me in fighting crime, but to come on board as a 6th grade counselor. Most of you also know that our 7th grade counselor is out on leave. She just had a baby, and so she'll be back in January. So at this time, Ms. McNutt and I have split 7th grade. Ms. McNutt will take care of last names Alpha A through L, and I will be handling M through Z. And if for some reason one of us is not available for those Alpha, then contact either one of us, it's fine, especially if it's an emergency. One of the things that we're going to be doing towards the end of October is going into classrooms and talking about bullying and how to handle social situations. And Ms. McNutt, what was the thing? She did the video. Tell them about the video.
When I was teaching last my sociology class, we do this project with the NoBullChallenge.org. It's a website that students create videos, just more like PSAs, public service announcements, about cyberbullying. And last year, our group made a video. It's called Scars. We may have sent it around to everyone we know, because you could vote on it and you could win. Our group actually won a trip out to Los Angeles. It's a phenomenal video. I'll actually put it up on the website now.
I would love that.
It's quite moving, and it just does a really great job in 3 minutes of kind of explaining the impact of just even subtle words and what they can do. So on our professional development day on Monday for teachers and staff, I'll be showing that video to them and doing a kind of workshop about what teachers can do and what we're looking for and how we can help our kids if such an occasion arrives.
All right, so that's really exciting. And the students that went had a blast. They went out to Los Angeles. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
So yeah, really, really special time for them. And so one of the things, if you're an 8th grade parent, we're going to high school. Everyone will go. Now, where they're going, I don't know. At the end of October, I call it my mobile counseling unit. It's a nice little, standard issue rolly cart. And I have a laptop, and I put 4 chairs outside of the science classrooms and spend 5 minutes with each group of 4 just taking notes and figuring out, okay, what are you thinking? What are you doing? You know, what are your parents are saying? What do you want? And what's your homeschool? So I take all these notes and I come back again in December before applications are due, and we go over it again, because things change, right? And so that way I'm tracking your children to figure out where they're gonna go, because springtime is gonna be very hectic for 8th grade, and I wanna make sure that everybody has options. And if you have questions about high school, if you're an 8th grade parent, now's a good time to ask me so I can knock it out.
But we also we're gonna have a high school options.
Oh, yeah.
Next, in 2 weeks too.
There's tons, there's
Yeah.
tons on high school, and the tricky part about high school is that, you know, you could actually have 3 or 4 options hanging out there in the wind. You're accepted everywhere, and you just don't know what you're gonna do. So I'll help go through that with kids and making sure that their applications are done on time, and that they have their STAR test scores and all that good stuff. In addition to that, we do have a website. If you go to healinghornets.org and click on guidance and counseling, that will be us, okay? And you can email us directly from there. And that's about it for the fall semester. We do have Dr. Knesny, who's going to be a guest speaker coming in January. I need to clear some dates, make sure we're good, to talk about anxiety and depression in adolescents. So he's wonderful. He's a well-known child psychiatrist in Central Texas.
And for any 6th grade parents, I know the 6th grade team is putting together a kind of workshop for parents sometime in late October. Ms. Pierce is heading that up. Just organization and how you can help, how you can support, office hours, just kind of a orientation for parents. and that's just starting to be in the works, so I don't have official details, but look for that, it's coming.
It's coming. Any questions?
I actually have, for those of you who are watching, I know that people watch on the video, if you can't attend these, you can always email me a question. So I'm going to just jump right in before I forget with the question that I received from somebody, which was, I would really like to hear from the counselors about when to decide that kids need help organizing their work. My son is struggling staying organized, as are his friends. I understand it gets easier as the year goes along. At what point do parents decide the kid isn't figuring it out and needs counselor help?
What, do we know what grade level the child is? That makes a difference too.
I would assume 6th.
Okay. In my mind, right away. And I mean, once they see they're not clicking, especially 6th graders, because they don't, you know, elementary school, it's fantastic. You have 2 teachers. They all love you. They hug you every day. Oh, you're the best child ever, right? And then they come here and they're now on this giant cruise ship with all these people, and they have 8 teachers, and there aren't any hugs right now. And every kid's looking at the other kid going, I'm smarter than you. No, I'm smarter than you. No, maybe you might be smarter. Oh, crap. Right? So I think that culture shock is really, it's too much. So if the child, if you're getting that email, that parent, any parent who's feeling that way at 6th grade needs to contact Ms. McNutt right away. She could easily put together a group of kids and get them organized and figure it out, okay? So,
Absolutely. I also encourage to email teachers directly too, and just give them a heads up, and they can always, they have their own tips and for their own classroom as well, so keeping everyone in the loop is the best way to go about it.
and if the teacher knows that Johnny is not doing well and his organization's out of control, and the teacher knows that Ms. McNutt knows this is going on, she can go over to the child and go, hey Johnny, what's going on? Let me see. You're looking for your homework. Wow, that's pretty disastrous in there. Let me give you a hand. Let me take a look. So, does that make sense? I hope it does.
I think it does.
And by the time they hit 8th grade, if they don't know the system, wow, we're in trouble. New 8th graders, different deal. That's a whole different deal. 7th grade, we have lots of new 7th graders, so same thing. If a parent is seeing issues, they need to contact the counselor and the teachers.
You have a question? Yeah.
Do you have a program in place or something in place to help kids learn how to study? Because my daughter's in 7th grade and she's hitting that, finally hitting that role of, oh, I have to learn how to study for some issues.
I'm gonna repeat the question just because that's really quiet back there. Her question was, do you have a program in place that teaches kids how to study? So,
Yeah, it helps them figure something out.
So really it goes like this, because that happens a lot. Your child is not alone. At this point, if your child doesn't know how to study, and I'm gonna go out on a limb, especially for science, I'm guessing. Oh, okay, same thing. Well, yeah, okay. First things first, you might want to email the teacher for that particular class and say, my child doesn't know how to study. Child won't listen to me, right? And copy one of us on the email, so we're all in conversation. It's a nice way to communicate versus having to make appointments with teachers and counselors. Just email and say, having trouble, don't know how to study, can somebody help? What would you suggest? And here, this is my suggestion. When it comes to, let's say, algebra, it's gonna be practice, practice, practice. They're gonna have to go to office hours. And if the teacher is at office hours and the child is there and you've sent the email, I guarantee you that the algebra teacher's gonna go over and go, okay, let's figure this out together. Does that make sense?
Yes, my problem is that she's not unsuccessful.
Oh.
It's just kind of, I'm just thinking ahead of, oh, this is.
Oh, she's being successful.
Yes.
Why are we, oh my gosh, good for you. I'm super happy for you. Well,
Because it's
thinking
not
ahead,
really some good things.
I understand completely, but I think office hours is your best bet, and the communication with the counselor and the teacher is your best bet. Now, let's say it's science, that's simple, note cards. It's that whole, we forget, remember how we used to learn? Wrote. Write on the note card the question, then write the answer. Do it again. Yeah, I have a lot of kids do note cards if they have trouble studying, because a lot of kids will fill out that science review and just look at it. I don't know why I didn't do well. I have no idea. Well, because you didn't put the effort into actually focusing on, just rewriting it helps. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, note cards are big. I like note cards.
The sixth grade team in particular also, they kind of structure in some skills for learning and skills for studying and skills for note taking all throughout the whole year. So they're getting it little by little, also from every single teacher throughout the year. Granted, some teachers may do things differently, so they're going to try to figure out what's going to work best for them.
And that's what's so great about coming here in sixth grade. They prepare you for seventh grade, you know? So they learn Cornell notes. They learn how to actually function in a science lab. So it's really nice.
Everything builds on each other.
I would definitely second the need for something a little more structured in how to do that. As pointed out earlier, there are a lot of new seventh graders who have
Yes.
gone through the sixth grade curriculum.
Yes.
So something that, and ours is one.
well, in the seventh grade year, I will speak as a parent having gone through them, is a year where studying, like sixth grade is a lot about organization and planning, where seventh grade and eighth grade, it may be, many of the kids, it's their first time that they've ever had to study. You know, they've taken all through elementary school, every test and never studied. And the teachers know that, and that's part of what they're really trying to prepare them for, is they're trying to put them in situations where they are challenged. And so a lot of seventh graders and eighth graders, even more than the sixth graders, are gonna have to study for the very first time and learn how to do that.
It's really difficult, and you know, I think, I wanna say it was 5 years ago that we started the transition camp for new seventh and eighth graders, and do the rotations, and I think that's a big piece of it. It helps, but it doesn't solve the problem because they didn't get it for a year, you know, like the sixth graders did. So it is a challenge. So, you know, it might be that you need to contact one of us to see if we can assist with that, with your child, and because we don't want students and parents hanging out there in the wind, not knowing what to do or what to expect. And I've been in the building 10 years. Darcy, you've been here, it's your third year or fourth year? Fourth year. So, you know, we've been here a while, and we kind of know what's going to happen. And teachers know about, you know, gosh, this is a new eighth grader, this is a new seventh grader. And sometimes they'll reach out to us and go, please help. And we've gotten those emails from teachers, which is great. So communication is huge. Anything else? Do we have another question?
We do.
Okay.
Do the counselors move up with each class?
we rotate. I'm gonna be 6th grade next year. So I'm yelling at 8th graders now, "You're going to high school, get out of here." And then I gotta go down to 6th grade and go, "It's okay, I'll cry with you." And I get on the floor with them and everything. And so, yeah. Yeah, we roll around together. Yeah. And ooh, 6th grade's tough. You're so brave. Wonder Woman cape, right? 7th grade is tough too because when she rotates with those kids, she'll know them in 7th grade, which is great. But it's so hard that, they finally got their building blocks and she's going to rotate to 7th grade with them. And that's when the hormones kick in, your child becomes an alien, and she has to deal with they don't know what they're doing. Because they got all that application phase of what they learned in 6th grade, so it's tough. But yes, we do rotate. I haven't met one person that said, "Oh, I loved middle school and I want to go back." Nobody.
So, I have a question. So I think what I hear you saying is, if there's any kind of a problem, that at the very beginning would be the time to contact the counselor. I guess the first time I contacted the counselor, I was like, oh, this is a big step, contacting the counselor. It must be that my kid is a real problem. Do I want to take that step?
Is my problem, is this problem big enough?
And you know what? No, questions are great. I get phone calls about, "Hey, I need to get a message to my kid. Is it okay?" I'm like, "Give it to me, man. Just give it to me. I'll get your kid the message." I don't think it really matters, guys. And I'll tell you if I can't do it, and Darcy would too. It'd be like, or maybe you call and say, "My child's having a nervous breakdown." Well, there's a place for that. You know what I mean? I guess what I'm saying is I'd rather you contact us for even the tiniest thing, because these are important years. I will say this: there's several parents and students who have gone through here that I know that have gone to LASA, gone to McCallum Fine Arts, gone to all the Anderson IB program, gone on to Stanford, all these great places, right? I do hear back from them, and you know what they say about Keeling? They say Keeling prepared us for high school. It was the hardest thing we ever did, but thank you so very much. And one of my toughest kids came back, today's Thursday, Tuesday, and dropped by and said, "Hey, I just want you to know I'm a senior and I have so many opportunities for college, and Keeling did that for me." And so I said, "Go see your teachers right now." Because we forget. You know how that goes. We always get the negative stuff sometimes, and the good stuff comes when they show up at your door and they go, "Thanks." Because they do. And I didn't do a darn thing. It was Keeling, the program, did it. So it's kind of cool. Hard, but cool.
And also, one more thing about the counselors is, as our children get older, they listen less to us, and they will listen to the same message that you've said 10 times, coming from a counselor or somebody else. They actually will listen to it.
Yeah, I worked at Cassis before here for 2 years, and the principal there was Patty Martin. She had her 2 girls come to Keeling. My first year teaching full-time, and I had both of them in the same class, and this was my mentor, and I was really nervous about it. She gave me the best compliment ever. She goes, I see my kids every day. I love them, I adore them. And she told me, she's like, "You will get to see them in a different way than I will ever know them." And that's what happens when you send your kids to us. We will get to know them in a different way than you. And we'll use our powers to help.
We got a question.
I think we're all very short. What's the best way to get in touch with the counselors?
I'm going to just repeat. What's the best way to get in touch with the
Is it that
counselors?
email automated generated or a direct one?
Don't use GradeSpeed. Nobody. I didn't even know you could email people in GradeSpeed. I'm like, oh gosh, that's dangerous to me.
Okay. There's also some kind of form, on the actual Keeling.org. Is that, or should it just be direct?
Yeah, email us directly.
Darcy.mcnutt@austin.st.
Nmoy, Nmiloi. I've been here so long I don't have a dot. Nmiloi.
Second question, you talked about the person coming to talk. Is that to teachers, parents, students, who is that?
Anybody who wants to be there. It'll be on a Thursday, and I'm hoping we get the dates down today, maybe. And he may not be here until like 8 in the morning, but it'll be in January, late January, yeah. But it's for, I don't think students will be here because obviously it'll probably, that core class thing. But teachers are welcome, any parent is welcome, but he's fantastic. He's been a guest speaker of ours for a long time, and we just, with having to split 7th grade, we just haven't had the chance to organize all that for the fall.
And the third is, y'all talking about bullying, and I know there's a million ideas and things out there. I just want to bring up one thing that they do at another middle school.
Oh, cool.
Right, because they have a bully box where you can anonymously put in things, and it seems.
We've been talking about
And
that.
I've already broached that subject, yes. I want a bully locker.
Yeah, and one interesting thing is that other kids can put in when
Yeah.
they see things. and
Sure.
so
That's a great
it's-
idea.
And it's anonymous, and they follow up within like 24 hours.
Oh,
That's
a
right.
great idea.
Well, here's-
privacy.
We've been talking about it. And so, you know, we have lots of things in our heads about it, and so it's on the agenda, and I would love to have it in place in November. Does that make sense? Because right now, you know, when you loop with your kids, when you follow your kids, they get to know you and they know they can email you, and they know your system and how you handle the situation. They get with you. So the box will, you know, for my 8th graders, they know what to do. You know, I've already trained them, right? So for 6th grade and 7th grade, I think it's really, really important for that to be going on. But we are in conversation, and we're trying to figure it out. What was the name of that program? There was a program.
There's a,
I can't think of the name of it, but Ms. Lowe had mentioned it, and we don't know how much it costs, but it's a program where you can actually email, and it's anonymous, if you want it to be, and it goes straight to, let's say, my cell phone. And so I'm at home, doing what I do at night with the dog, playing ball, and then here comes the text message or the email, and I'm like, oh gosh, okay, I'm on it. So it's just more immediate. So we have, and then it's like, where do you put the box? Where's the locker gonna be? And do you paint it? Who's gonna check the box? And, you know, just, there's so many
Lots of
logistical.
different ideas. Anyway, that's just one.
No, it's a
I know-
great
I know
idea.
Pete loves over there. and he's-
Yeah. No, I love the bully box idea. I think it's great.
I have one more question. Do you have resources for parents?
Everybody write this down. You need this book. It's called Yes, Your Teen is Crazy by Michael Bradley. See, there's a believer. Yes, Your Teen is Crazy. He has a website, Michael Bradley, I think it's Bradley. If you go there, you can even he has a tip of the day. I mean, he's fantastic. But Yes, Your Teen is Crazy, I've had several parents purchase the book, and it's funny, but it tells you like it is, and it gives it from the teen's perspective. But resources for parents, I have a little library collection. We post things on the website when we can, right? Right now we're kind of at a deficit. So, yes and no. And there's also, yes, your parents are crazy for your teen to read. It's funny. But it helps, because if you guys don't know it now, your child's an alien. They are aliens, and they will come back to you, but not anytime soon. So.
I just wanted to say, yesterday at our elementary school, I got a handout that I brought with me because I wanted to ask about. It's the social emotional learning parent series that's at the Eastside Memorial High School, and it has different dates, like, well, I guess this is past, but we got it yesterday. Tuesday, October 8th was listening with attention and disagreeing respectfully. November 19th from 6:30 to 8 will be managing anxiety and avoiding assumptions. There's another one in January, February, March. So maybe, this is something that's good for middle as well, middle school?
I'm not sure, because we didn't get that information, and we are an SEL campus,
Yeah.
so I'm very confused. That might be an elementary thing only, because we would have gotten
Dee's
that.
got a comment.
And on that note, that
Yes.
flyer is out in the, by the main office.
Well, GD, I didn't
And
see
so
it.
we try to post all those things, we're trying to get a bulletin board or something else to
I'll go make a
post,
post.
Oh, fantastic.
bring the ones that are out in
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
that we have a lot of other information and workshops and things like that that we'll be posting in that area.
Yeah.
and I'll work on updating any of that information on the website as well.
We need to get the Austin Child Guidance, also has a series right now going on. I didn't have time to rewrite it in the Hornet Herald, and so she kicked it back and said, this is too much information. So I said, oh no. So I need to get that out to you guys. So.
We have another question.
Sixth grade is exacting quite a toll emotionally on our house. depression, anger, frustration, the whole not smart enough thing. Suggestions for getting through this?
There's a book called Mindset. You need to get that.
Mindset?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's an easy read, it's research-based. It talks about fixed mindset, growth mindset. Fixed mindset is I'm not smart enough, I'm done. I'm going back to my home school. Growth mindset is, oh gosh, how do I get out of this big giant sand lot? I can't get out, what do I do? And that's where the anger is coming from. Because he doesn't have the growth mindset right now. He can have it, but he doesn't have it right now.
Who's the author?
Couldn't tell you.
Harold Dweck.
Here it is.
Yep.
Yeah, keeping in contact with us. I've already talked with a couple of students. We just call them in and just tell them to calm down and give them tips for strategies for stress. Also, I call it training. It's this period of time when they're trying to do their homework and they're probably agonizing over every little thing, and it's getting out of hand. And I call it training because it's going to be hard, and it's being really strict and structured. So let's say you only give them 45 minutes for one core class of homework, and then that's it. If they're not done, they're not done, and they have to turn in incomplete work. And eventually what they're going to have to start doing is just being done, finishing it and being focused and trying to do it and that's going to just kind of help their process and how they go along. And that's tied into organization and time management and everything, but it also helps with that, and they're finding their own motivation and everything. But it's difficult because they were probably the top dog in their elementary school, and now they've come here and they're middle of the road. And
The lowest kid is still in the top 2%.
Uh-huh.
It's hard. It's a hard environment for them to come in when so many of them have been the
top.
golden child.
Wow, yes.
And now they're in a class full of
Golden
30
children.
golden children.
Right.
And it's really tough. The kids all handle it in different ways.
right, so we always say it's okay to strive for A's, but it's not okay to feel bad about yourself for getting B's.
Or C's.
Or Cs.
Well, we don't recognize C's in AISD, sorry. 75. Yeah.
So just keep on reminding them
It's
of
a C.
that. These in our campus are wonderful.
And I gotta tell you, the intent of the magnet program is not grades. The intent for the magnet program, and we all want good grades, the intent for the magnet program is the experience. It is an experience. And it is a struggle. And so that experience, that book mindset will help you understand where all that's coming from and how to handle it better. So, and, Ms. McNutt can talk to your child and make sure that he has ideas and strategies in his toolbox. His social emotional learning toolbox that he carries with him when he goes to high school. Because he's going to high school. Everybody goes.
Can I add something? I just want to say, don't. I've had 3 kids go through this program. And what you're describing is very common. Lots and lots of kids have gone through that and survived and done well. It wasn't the tragedy that it seemed like on Wednesday.
Exactly.
And also from the organizational standpoint, because I've had 2 girls and a boy go through, I can tell you that for my girls, organization seems to be part of their self-image and their DNA. My son who's now a sophomore at LASA started in the 7th grade. We realized after about a month where we were was, I don't know why I have a 0 on grade speed. I didn't even know we had homework in that class. I don't know what these 5 different pieces of paper wadded up in a little ball in the bottom of my backpack are. I don't remember even seeing those. And we had to start from spending for several months, about 45 minutes every night. What is your homework? Where is it in your binder? Show it to me. Does it have your name on it? And it can happen. I mean, I think my wife particularly was really despairing, but it's for boys especially, it's a process. I mean, you can't, at least for our son, and I've talked with a lot of other parents of boys, you can't just say, do this, and expect them to carry it out. You had to work through it, and it requires repeat inoculations. I mean, there's good news and bad news. Even my son was able to do that, but also last year, as a freshman at LASA, we actually dropped letter grades in a couple of classes because we didn't turn in homework that we had actually done. Not that I'm bitter about it or anything.
There's counseling for you.
But I realized on the other hand, I went to college with boys who were as disorganized as my son was in the 7th grade. I knew boys that flunked out of college, not because they were stupid, because they couldn't figure out to get off the couch and go to class and do what they, so at least we're putting in the effort now. I figure my son will be beyond that. He will be more organized than he would have been if we had done this now. So it can, and every parent of boys almost that I've talked to has expressed the same concerns. Nobody has said, wow, your son is really strange. We never had any problems like that.
There's like 0.01% of boys that are organized. It's like, wow, that's impressive. Do it again. Yeah. So I thank you for saying
Yeah, Mark,
that.
that was really
Very
helpful, 'cause
normal.
it's very true.
When y'all call on the phone and you describe it and you're like, I'm out of control, I need some, we're having a breakdown, I'm like, perfectly normal. I would be too. So when you're in the moment, things are not looking good, the best thing to do is walk away. Walk away, let everything cool down, and then come back and reapproach. So, yeah, thank you, that was awesome. Anything else?
Any more questions out there? I have one specific question about keyboard, but I can get you that.
Oh, yeah, that's a private question.
Okay, I can give it to you, this was what someone submitted it to me.
Oh, okay,
and
what does it
I'll-
say?
Well, it says, I see one of the 2013-14 electives at KMS, keyboarding is a high school credit course and meets middle school keyboarding requirement. So I have this idea, I don't know where it comes from, that if my son passes the test, he does not need to take this elective and/or that he earns high school credit for keyboarding. Is this correct?
I got it. Okay, this is a good question. Okay,
Is it?
so I
Okay.
got okay. A little messy, a little bit of a slippery slope. All right, so keyboarding is a high school credit. You will only get high school credit if you actually participate in the course. If you actually sign up for the course, you take the final exam, boom, high school credit. It is on a 4-point scale. It is not weighted, all right? So if you're concerned about 4-point
Can you explain for the
That's a
6th grade
huge
parents may
deal.
not know
it is
about
a
it.
huge
Yeah,
deal.
in high
This is
school.
huge. You guys are in the know, so here's the deal. Oh, my head's gonna explode. I'm gonna be okay. 4.0 classes for your children, if you're the kind of parent that wants your child to go to Harvard and all that good stuff, or Stanford, you wanna stay away from the 4.0 scale. That's a regular class.
As opposed to an honors class.
Bingo. Honors is gonna be pre-AP or magnet, okay, or AP as they get to be juniors and seniors, okay? AP classes are gonna start their junior year, and it's gonna be English, science, okay, English, social studies, and history, I believe. And so that is a dual credit, that's a college credit for them, depending on what they score on their AP exam, all right? Now, those are weighted. And don't quote me, but I wanna say that an AP class is a 6-point. I'm not sure. Is it 5? Oh, good,
I
thank
think it's
you.
fine.
Thank you. I don't wanna know these things. I really don't, but I do. So 5-point. Right now, if your child's in algebra in this class, the only algebra and geometry we offer is honors. It's a pre-AP class. That's the good news, right? Because that's a 5-point scale. So let's say your child is taking algebra pre-AP in our building as a middle schooler, and they make a 90. A 90 on a 4-point scale, let's say it's not honors, a 90 is going to be a 3.0. Okay? A 90 on a 5-point scale is a 4.0. See the difference? If you make 100, boom, you're getting your 5 points. But if you're taking a regular class, and you had an option of taking a pre-AP class, then you're hurting yourself, point-wise. Does that make sense before I go further?
So just real quick, for this person who is interested in keyboarding, your response is that even if they made 100, when they're converting that to the 5.0 scale, it
It's
may
gonna be-
actually pull their grade point down, and it's
Bingo.
probably not worth that for a keyboarding class.
Well, and here's the thing, I didn't finish the keyboarding question. The keyboarding question, there's a proficiency exam we offer twice a year, in December and again, I think in May, no, it's late April. The proficiency exam is, keyboarding is not keyboarding like typing we used to take. Keyboarding has to do with, you learn business letterhead, writing a business letter, all this different stuff that I would never have thought of as being part of keyboarding, but it is. And so you have to pass the proficiency exam just to get a little piece of paper in your cumulative folder that no one will ever open. Nope. And it basically just says you're proficient in keyboarding, good for you. Boom. Good for you. So keyboarding is, there's some controversy for paper courses. They say it is required for high school. Actually, high school needs your kid to be proficient in keyboarding. Now, if your kid is hunting and pecking, get him in keyboarding. That's going to hurt the child in high school. All right? And 4-point scale, though. Yeah, there's weighted stuff here. It's hard to get a keyboarding class in high school, and there's not going to be an honors pre-AP keyboarding class in high school. So it's.
Can you take the keyboarding class but not count it towards your high school?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You just have to tell your counselor.
Okay.
Perfect. And just so you'll know, and I just want to piggyback on that, some people are telling you got to take speech at the 9th grade level, okay? If you wait and take it your junior year is really tough, by the way. If you wait and take it your junior year, you can go to your counselor, get a waiver to ACC, go take speech at ACC, and you get dual credit, and everything's free except for your book. So what you're doing is you're walking away with a high school credit and a college credit, because you know it's going to be required anyway in college. It's basic speech. So I suggest you do it your junior year.
Nice.
Yes.
First, you're gonna tell all the 6th grade parents this when we're 8th grade, right?
Absolutely.
I'm like, I'm not gonna remember this a couple of years from now.
We have a question in the back.
You may have just said this, but let me make sure I heard you correctly.
Sure.
Child's currently enrolled in keyboarding.
Yep.
Don't want to chart their average or their grade or weighted. Who knows what they're doing down in the future.
Yep.
Tell the counselor, don't want it to count.
Yep.
Do they need to take the proficiency exam?
No. No. What's going to happen is there's another, the report card will say keyboarding 98, right? But you'll never know that it's not counting until we pull up the transcript. The difference is in the computing system, we changed their course number. There's 2 course numbers for keyboarding. One is for credit, one is for not having credit. And with that being said, it's really important for you guys to know that Stanford, Harvard, UT, they don't care how many, if you had 33 credits when you graduated, it doesn't matter. As long as you were on, I'm going to say this, distinguished plan, which is changing this year for your 8th graders, and we'll talk later about it. As long as you have your basic distinguished plan credits, more credit is not better. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Please be careful. A lot of us are in a hurry to get our kids high school credit, and I'm like, don't do that. So yeah, be careful with your kids.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was really helpful. I'm going to take one last question because we're kind of getting late in the back.
So related to the keyboarding then, if the child doesn't want to take keyboarding as one of the electives, does anybody have recommendations on how to learn proficiency? There have to be online solutions or
There's
things
Mavis.
they can do in the summer?
I think it's Mavis. Is that right, guys?
Maybe.
Yeah, but then you got to do it on your own. And
But AISD also offers a summer class in keyboarding.
they do.
I believe
I
so.
thought that was for incoming freshmen. I didn't know.
It's- you have to search on the AISD websites,
Ew.
but there is an option there.
Well,
But
make
it's
sure
like 4
wherever that-
weeks all day.
The messy part about that is if you don't want it for high school credit, you have to make sure, boom, 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 whoever you're talking to, and you're talking to, at summer school, you'd be talking to the registrar, whoever that person is, to make sure they are not, because once that grade goes in as high school credit, you can't take it off. You cannot take it off. Oh my goodness, it's painful.
That's really helpful. All
right.
And I'm gonna, just to give a big thank you both for all this
Oh.
information. I was told these people before that, Ms. Malloy, you came in when I was a sixth grader and you gave your little speech and it was so reassuring. So thank you very much for your time and all that you do for our kids.
Well, we are glad to serve you guys, so
Thank you very much.
let us know what we can do for you.
All right, I'm gonna go into our KMag portion of the meeting. I'm gonna try and get through some questions because we don't have a whole lot of time left. On a couple of each of the tables should have the minutes from the September 26th meeting. If y'all could just take a quick moment and peruse that, let me know if you have any changes to that. And then if I could have a motion to approve the minutes. Okay, Amy Ward, who's approved the minutes. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. Gita says. Seconds it. Do I need to get a motion? All in favor, say aye. All right, the motion carries. We're gonna go quickly into, is Michelle here? All right, fundraising report. We are still doing our fundraiser. We're trying to raise $30,000. I don't have an updated number, but we were at around 12,000, 13. We're trying to get to 30. So we're still trying to raise funds for the magnet program. These are to buy things that our classes need, that they kind of depend on. So we're just going to continue going until we hit our goal. Jenny Floyd is here about the book club. You guys saw her.
So we're hoping to have the first meeting of our book club next KMag meeting immediately afterwards. One thing I still do not have is a complete list of what was read last year. So those of you that were here, have y'all done a book called Smart Parenting for Smart Kids? Okay, I think that's going to be our first book. It's if you signed up as being interested in the book club, I do have your email address, and I'm going to leave another sign-up sheet up here if you'd like to be on that list, and I'll send that information. But I haven't read all of it yet, but just the first chapter on tempering perfectionism has been definitely worth the price of admission for me, because that's one of our issues, and I'm guessing I'm not the only one. But anyway, I'll send out some more information, so if you're interested, we'll just meet right after KMag meeting in November, which is on the 14th. And I will collect more email addresses up here. And that's all.
Thanks, Jenny. Choice Fair, is either Kathy or Rachel here? I did talk to both of them on email. We do have the dates for the December 7th and the January 9th. Many of you have signed up, and I've given her a list, an Excel list of all the names. So she will be contacting you because we do need a lot of volunteer support to put on these programs. If you didn't sign up and would be interested in helping, you can let me know. Magnet Office and Teacher Support, Julie? Do you know anything?
I don't, but just to let you know what that is, I take a list of names of parents who want to be contacted occasionally when we need some extra help. For instance, in the spring, the administration takes the office staff out for Secretary's Day for lunch. So we need to provide people to man the office. Or in the springtime, we do the national language exams. So we need proctors for that. So also have an email to those people who can just help occasionally if it works out with your schedule. So if you want to be on that list, let me know. And on my PTA side, I'm the teacher appreciation chair. And I had billed all of the secret pals adoptions that we adopted teachers. I just got 2 new ones. So I need 2 more people to adopt a teacher. So if you are interested in that, would you let me know, please?
Thank you, Julie. Renee, are you here? No. Shadowing, I think we talked about that. We're gonna start that, believe it or not, she starts planning for that the next month, but then you'll be contacted in January when we need wranglers, and some of you have already signed up for that. And we're still looking for someone who is willing to do the new parent reception, new student, that's in the spring. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. It's not a huge job, and you need somebody to help organize that. Do you have a treasurer's report, Mark?
Sort of. Mostly that I'm way behind on my deposits, so I don't have a good current treasurer's report. I think that, and I printed out the current balance and then helpfully left it at home and didn't get here with it, but I do have quite a few these that I just got, but quite a few more that I picked up a couple of weeks ago that I need to deposit. So given where we are and if the deposits that I have are sort of within where the normal limits of what you expect contributions to be, I'm guessing roughly ballpark, we may have a good shot at 20,000. I mean, I don't think we're going to make 30 unless we have a really generous benefactor out there, but I'll have a full report for the next meeting.
Okay. And for anyone who didn't get it, here is our fundraising letter. It tells you specifically what that goes to, which of the classes, or not specific classes, but how this gets spent. Does anyone have any questions for the treasurer's report?
We do still have our endowment.
Okay.
That's just sitting as well.
Part of the co-chair's report, want to point out LASA Roadshow. Sandra Marks gave me this information. I'm really grateful because I actually didn't know it. The roadshow, so what it is LASA goes around and does a roadshow in the evening. Students and parents can attend to learn more about it. There's a lot for the 8th graders. LASA will be coming here during the school to make a presentation to all the 8th graders, but it's going to be a quick 30 minutes kind of pep rally, not necessarily a way to get the detailed information you may be looking for. So if you want that, roadshow is the best way to do it. They're going to be at Keeling on Wednesday, October 23rd at 6:30, and North Austin on Wednesday, October 30th at Hill Elementary, South Austin at Patton Elementary at 6:30. And then the showcase, which is like the magnet showcase here, which you can go and visit, will be on Wednesday, November 20th. And again, in 2 weeks, we're going to have a high school options one where we're going to have parents from all the different high school options, and they're going to, and 2 of the parents are actually right here because they have kids in that program, Gallup and IB and LASA, and they're going to be able to answer questions as well as just give you all an overview of what's coming up. That's all I have for the co-chair's report. Does anyone have any questions? Is Kristen? I didn't see Kristen here. Do we have a PTA report? Susan, do you have anything to report?
Yes. First of all, the dance last Friday was a huge success, and we thank you all volunteers and participants.
Could you speak a little louder, Susan, for the video?
Okay, we are not going to go forward with the reflections program due to the lack of interest in volunteers. PTA membership, most of you probably do know that PTA is a separate organization from KMag, and so we also have memberships. Membership benefits include discounts on businesses, and the actually more valuable thing is to get the directory. The directory of the PTA members. It's available online and also as a hard copy. And basic membership starts at $8 for individuals and $16 for family. We discussed the PTA Secret Pals. Healing Center Stage is the PTA's biggest fundraising program. It's going to take place next April, and we are starting to plan this event, and we need lots of volunteers. So we still need some coordinators for different areas, so talk to me afterwards or go to Healing PTA and .org to send us some email questions with email. Buildings and Grounds News, we'll have green team meetings after this.
On the 17th, October 17th.
So next.
So it's next Thursday when you don't have KMag. Maybe it's plan to come.
And for that, we still need a graphic designer to help display the logos of our donors. And Laura would be your contact.
Can I just say one thing about buildings and grounds? So, you give dues to PTA, and one of the things that's going towards is we are doing tons and tons of stuff on the west side of the building with our new gardens, and there's going to be a shed being built this weekend to store tools and all types of things. So that's actually part of that is from a grant from Keep Austin Beautiful. So.
And finally, the Binational Health Week Health Fiesta is taking place this Saturday, 10 to 12. There is going to be free mammograms and other tests. So just on the campus. 10 to 2.
You know, it does say 10 to 12 on there. I wondered about that. It is 10 to 2. Yeah.
So there you go, 10 to 2.
Okay, thank you very much, Susan. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a comment. There was a consent form that was sent out with the students from their PE class on a health survey that's going to take place next week. The survey is being sponsored by the University of Texas. Ask your children if they brought it. You have the option to opt out of the survey. We gave out information what would be on the survey. So you can ask your children. But we need to have the consent form returned, whether it's a yes or a no.
Can I just say a couple more PTA things too? Did you guys all see that box top collection is happening? Box tops are so easy, right? Because it's like you buy the product anyway, just click the little thing. Schools spending thousands of dollars, so send it in. They're having an advisory contest. What is it that they win? The advisory? There's some prize. The advisory that brings in the most. I think I can't remember what it is. But anyway, so send in your box tops. I think that goes to like October 25th. I can't remember the exact date. And also, if for those of you who know what campus advisory councils are, CAC, we still need a PTA representative to CAC. I think there's somebody who might do it, but she wasn't so sure. So if you're interested in it, that's still available. And it's such an important thing. It's the board of education for the school. And it's only once a month, one meeting. And honestly, I mean, this sounds kind of rude to say, there's like nothing you have to do between, except for report to the board, the PTA board, like bring information back from both places. So there's not like, you don't have to like set up programming, you don't have to like do anything else except for participate with your brain. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just an easy thing. So, and then there was one other thing that, the directory. So some of us who really wanted to see more people in the directory last year were really disappointed with it. I don't know if those of you who were here, like there was like no one in the directory. So we need, and it is a little awkward that you have to become a member, but it's not that big a deal. It's only $80, right, to become a PTA member. So if there's anybody here who has not entered your students' information into the directory and is confused about how to do it or whatever, let me know because I can just send you to, well, just go to the Hornet Herald or go to, or email Casey Prince if you don't know how to do that.
And that's just really, it's a twofold benefit. One, everyone should be a member of the PTA because this supports education, public education, which our kids are a part of on the local, national, and state level. So that's just really important. And then also the directory information. Your child will use it when they need to know they forgot a homework assignment or something. So yeah, I would encourage everybody to become a PTA member and to get their information into the directory. All right, do we have any questions? All right, thank you all very much for attending. I really appreciate it, and hopefully it was helpful. We'll see you again. Thank you.